Hey guys, what is up? I'm here back once again with a weekly review of Takt Destiny. And guess what? It's been a long time since I've done it, but if you've been here long enough, it's nothing new to you. But if you are new, I'm here to do a double review. So that's usually when I miss out on an episode like a week before. And doing a live reaction would have been nice, but it's been way too long. And I want to talk about certain points just to get more explanation because through a live reaction, you won't really get that. So, those who've been here, this ain't new, but if you're here and you're new to this, it is a double review. So I'm doing a double review of episodes 5 and 6 of Takt Destiny. I'm going to be doing that for this week for Platinum N and also for Visual Prison. And then by next week, I'll get back to doing regular live reaction, single live reaction, and single reviews. So, from my understanding of episodes 5 and 6, episode 5 had more action than episode 6. Episode 6 was kind of like a downtime thing and got a little bit more insight onto Takt's background, more so on his father. If anything, we can consider Takt's dad to be like a martyr in the modern day world of music, because from our understanding, from what the show has told us, when the D2s in the music arts came crashing to earth, they came around 20 or so years prior to the current storyline. Then 10 years after they came, right? By that time, Takt was like a little kid. That's when he lost his dad. What I found most interesting, connecting from 5 and 6, the music art that we saw in the opening until we got her name, the one who's dark skinned, she has like lavenderish gray hair. She looks kind of crazy. She's that crazy chick. We got her name. Her name is Hell, or Jihoku, but call her Hell. She's kind of crazy. What I found very interesting is in episode 6 when Takt was sleeping in the car because they came to New Orleans. In episode 5, they were traveling to go through New Orleans to get to New York. Of course, they met with one of the Symphoniac's commanders, high commanders, by the name of Felix. By the way, don't like him. He is. I know he has something up his sleeve, and he is not to be trusted. But aside from that, in his memories from his dream, when the attack happened at one of the venues where Takt's father was having his concert, basically his orchestra concert, and was attacked and killed, all he can remember vaguely is seeing two music arts where he saw Hell. They defeated the D2 that came crashing down and basically caused all that damage and travesty. He saw Hell, but then he saw another D2 who had long hair, and she looks like she's the music art for the Commander Sagan. If you remember him from, I believe he first appeared in episode, if I remember correctly, either episode 1 or 2. He's basically the head of the entire symphonic industry, the whole company and all that stuff, the people who conducts with the music arts and the conductors and sends out those missions to help people and defeat the D2. So we come to find out now these two somehow, Hell and the other music art with the long hair, they probably know Takt. Most likely they know Takt. They knew of Takt's father because all of them somehow, some way, I don't know what it is about Takt's father, because the way they were putting it, he was called Rooster. So I don't know why they gave him that nickname, but they think because he has his offspring, which is Takt, something amazing is about to happen. Like, they want Takt to join them, because what we found out in episode 5 is Takt and Cosette, or Destiny, they're unregistered. So I never even knew this, that they had to be registered conductors and music arts that's allowed to actually go and combat the D2s once they're giving orders from the higher ups. And given that they're not, registered, they're basically, as they called them before, beasts on the run. They're wild cards, all of that stuff, just going about doing things that's not in the order that is set by, again, those who are in the higher ups. So we have where Felix is very interested simply because he views music arts as nothing more than weapons. Mind you, music arts used to be humans at one point, but once they become, the weapons that defeat D2, they no longer have an identity for himself. We were introduced to another music art that was in episode 5 aside from Hell. Her name is Walker. And one thing I liked about in the episode, which I never knew, if a music art is not bonded with a conductor, their power runs out a lot more faster. Because remember, music art and conductor are connected with each other. I don't know how they're usually connected, given that like Takt and Cosette are the more non-normal type, because remember, Cosette was born. Usually you're not born, you're transformed into a music art. So since Cosette was born, she's not the normal type of music art. So with Walker, she is basically, in simpler terms, without an owner, right? So she's herself just a wild beast who's I guess a jack of all trades. They'll just hire her for work, and when she's done, they just send her off somewhere. And that's clearly what happened by the end of episode 5, when Felix had no more use for her. He's like, we're done with you, you can go. And I was really hoping by the end of the episode she would have traveled with the group, with Anna, Cosette, and Takt, but that didn't happen. But my guess is this won't be the last time we see of Walker, because it clearly shows she seemed like someone who was with a stick up her butt. She was very much for rules and regulations, but it comes to find out she's actually pretty pure, and she doesn't have a partner. So I don't know who's going to be her partner in the future, but I hope she does have, because with her being a music art and her not having a conductor, she can't really go all out or stand in a long-lasting battle against D2s, because she can easily start to wear out, versus like Cosette and Takt. Even though the more power that Cosette uses, it physically hurts Takt. But remember, they're the oddballs out of the whole crew. So it looked like Felix, what he wanted to do was register Takt and Cosette and then make them work under him, basically making them his lapdog. But of course, Takt in them is just like, nah, you come disrespecting us, you don't care about the music art, you only think of them as weapons, they're only tools to be used, and then when they're no longer valuable, they're thrown away for another. So they couldn't really respect this dude. Now I hope Sagan is not that way. It looks like he actually does have high hopes for Takt, given that the fact that he is Asahina's child, but we don't know like the whole mystery behind him. I know they have the same name, but I don't know what Takt's father's name is, so we'll just call him Asahina. We don't know what it is, but I can only guess he is, in other words, a martyr for the music world, because when the D2 attacked and humans had to basically stop listening, stop playing music, he was like that light at the end of the tunnel for them. And to lose basically that person who was their guiding light, it really caused humans to draw back, because in episode 6 we had where they reached New Orleans, the home of jazz, right? And it's isolated. All the young people are out, only elderly men and women are staying there. And through there, Takt went into basically like a bar where they have an underground, no, up top looks like a cafe, but underground is like a bar, and they're playing music secretly, because they can't even play it loud either. Remember, Attack of D2s and all of that stuff. So they're playing, and he's meeting people that actually knew of his father, because there was one guy who was part of Asahina's band when he was doing his orchestra band, right? He played the two. And he basically was, all of them just praised Takt's father, what type of person he was, how enthusiastic he was about music and everything. And Takt, realizing the impact his father had on many people's lives, because there was a point where they said many people did blame his father for the attack that happened in New Orleans, because where he was performing, the venue, the place is, there's nothing left of it, and that's why the whole place that they were staying at for half of the day is basically isolated. So many people blamed his father for the attack, but we also found that the people that attack was talking to never blamed his dad for the attack or anything of that sort. And if anything, they were really happy that he came to play in their town. They were happy to be able to talk to this man and resonate with this man, play with this man. So it's just like the one of the players who play with Takt's father gave him like a musical notepad and said, it's not much, but everybody needs to hear your music. You have an amazing talent, and we know you're gonna go far. So I really like that. Episode 6 was more of a chill episode, but we kind of got a little bit more insight on Takt's past, especially with his father. And I really do want to hear more about why is he called Rooster? Why does Sagan want Takt specifically to join him, to join the Symphonic? Why did they want basically Takt and Cosette to join them? For what reasons? Because we do know at the end of the day they want to go to New York to fix Cosette because she's broken in some form, too much power, and she doesn't know how to actually control it, and it can actually hurt her and Takt in the long run until she gets better. But I do want to know the reason as to why they hold Takt's father in such high regards. What was it about him that people were drawn to him? Why did he get that nickname Rooster? I don't know what, the awakening for the next day, I guess that's what it is. Unfortunately, we don't have anything to go by in terms of like a manga or a novel or anything. We just, whatever is being shown in the show, that's all we can get. So other than that, I really enjoyed both the episodes. I enjoyed episode 5. It was more action packed, but we got like new characters and how they're related to Takt actually due to his past and him losing his father. And then we had other characters again in episode 6 that knew of his father. Not only that, we had where there was this character that mistaken Anna for her daughter. Obviously, we knew leading up she lost her daughter because in her mind, her daughter never died. She just went out and just never came back home. But we got where Cosette is becoming more vocal in speaking. She's becoming less robotic, So, Destiny, she's becoming less robotic and she's talking, she's taking in everything. She's becoming more human, if you will. Despite being now a music artist, she's becoming more human. So that was really a nice change of pace for her character from episode 1 now to episode 6. So that being said, guys, do tell me how you felt about these 2 episodes, episode 5 and 6. What do you think is the relationship between Takt, Sagan, his father, all of that stuff, Hell, and the other music art, the one with the long hair that was with Hell when Takt's father died and they destroyed that D2 that crashed the venue and all of that stuff? And what does Takt's father have to play in everything that is happening? Because it looks like he is the main centerpiece and Takt is just being drawn into it, and everybody just wants a piece of him and Cosette. So do tell me your thoughts on that. Again, the links are in the description box, so you guys can go check that out. And I hope you guys have a good morning, good afternoon, and good night. And I'm Kimmy Chan of Anime Legends Podcast, and I'll see you guys later. Bye.